In this video, I want to quickly show you how to use ChatGPT to help you format your sales description. So for example, here's what I wrote to it. Reformat this book description to look more organized and be more readable without changing the font size, because obviously the font size is set by Amazon, so we can have that change. But let's see what ChatGPT gives us. Okay, and we just literally pasted everything in the description into here, and then it rewrote things for us. It said, sure, here is the formatted version of the book description to make it more organized. And it gave us this blob, right? And as a human, how can you tell what the differences are? It's really hard. So if you're a programmer, you can kind of run a little script that will show you the difference, but it's really tricky. So easier than that, you can just say, hey, what were the changes you made? I literally asked that, you see? And it gave me a list of the changes, like bold formatting and highlight important parts, creating section headings, which we discussed earlier in this course, that it's important to have that in the description, aligned paragraphs, etc. Bullet pointed learn how to section and make it stand out and more readable, kind of like I was describing. I like that artificial intelligence and I agree on this. And then it clarified and emphasized the main points and key messages throughout the description. And I could actually ask it a secondary questions like, what were those points? Because again, I have to sift through the whole thing and reread it many times just to find a difference. So you could ask it that, but I asked it something else just to get to the point. I asked it, can you keep the changes you made, but use more white space and line breaks to make it more readable? Because you see, we're still dealing with this problem, like a lot of text. It looks very daunting to read, especially this giant paragraph. So it then did that. You see, it now has smaller paragraphs throughout and uses more line breaks. And now one error that it made is like it's overusing the bullet points here, overusing it there. And so I asked it now break up the sections and the descriptions with headlines and subheadlines. So there was a little bit of that, but I wanted more of that. So here it is, much more readable. And it has different font size now for this headline and this subheadline. I wouldn't do that. That's just a problem with my prompt. But when I would use it, I would just keep this kind of a font size all the way. It looks very, very readable. It helps people skim. And then it wrote a lot of things and made things more clear, more readable. You see, so if you generally struggle with formatting, like I also feel that my strength isn't formatting. Like I'm not very visual naturally. It takes me a while to get used to things. So you can ask ChatGPT to format things for you as well until you find a style that you like. Like for example, now I'm not a huge fan of like using two different font sizes and bolds. It's a little much. So I would clean it up by getting rid of these little bolded parts and just keep that big sections and see how that looks. And you just keep asking it to edit until you like how it looks. And this obviously would help you increase your sales conversion rate because it would get more people to actually read your description. So you can do this all in minutes with artificial intelligence, and it would right away help you increase your sales conversion rate because more people would read your description.